Why'd you clap so high this time?
Why you always find issue with my clappiness?
Because you always do it different.
So, if we always did everything the same, humanity would never move forward, okay? I saw the dinosaurs. You have to adapt to survive millions of years and then die. Okay?
I mean, all of us die, and it doesn't take millions of years.
The species, girl. You're looking at the small picture. You got to look at the big one.
I really liked the dinosaur show on Netflix, but I feel like it was too basic. Maybe I just know too much about dinosaurs.
I think you wanted a documentary on like specific dinosaurs or like specific periods of time instead of an overview of all of the dinosaurs' history, because that's hundreds of millions of years of history.
I think they should have done more than just 4 episodes, because like
4 hours.
Well, like, like we kind of said it was repetitive, like
the script
the
itself
dinosaurs.
the script itself was repetitive. Like, it did go back on itself a lot, and this would give rise to the dinosaurs, and this would give rise to the dinosaur, and this would give rise, and this changes everything for the dinosaurs. Okay, I got it. You could explain it a little bit.
I also think this changes everything for the dinosaurs in 20 million years. Like, I don't think they knew it was changing. But the last episode did make me sad. Like, just thinking about how scared all the dinosaurs must have been, like, as the fire and stuff rained down on them, makes me sad.
What do you mean? That happened several times.
I know.
Not the meteor thing, but like extinction events.
Yeah, like all of them made me sad. But that one I think was worse because, like I said, I looked up the numbers. And hi, welcome back to Mindless Prattle, where we like to talk before we introduce ourselves. I'm Ripley, that's Jordan, and we like dinosaurs. But it just, like, I looked up the numbers, and the first several extinctions they went through, 80% of life was wiped out, which is a lot. But I looked up the numbers for the final one that, like, went most extinct and, like, gave rise to the birds and stuff. And, oh shit, what was I saying? Oh, it was 97%. And I was like, God, that's so scary. Can you just imagine, like, watching everyone around you die, and then, like, you're just alone and you have no one and you slowly choke to death? Like, but I hope the dinosaurs would be happy to know that millions of years later we're
turning their bodies into oil.
No, we love them, and we make stuffed animals of what we think they look like, and, like, learn about them, and I think that's really cool.
But we do use them for oil.
We do use them for oil.
Okay. All right. Just as a side note.
And if there's a future of humans, they'll probably use us for oil too one day.
Yep. Probably.
Well, since we're talking about terrifying things, I want to talk about the Demon Core. Have you ever heard of the Demon Core?
Go for it.
I learned about it the other day.
Is your leg okay?
My knee hurts a lot.
You've been stroking it for a minute now. Do you need some ibuprofen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
it's crazy what you're doing.
It's like there. I'm not even moving, and I guess it's still pretty bruised, but it hurts a lot.
Don't worry, folks. I've got orange candy on standby because orange.
I just think it was so funny that you're
the official flavor of ibuprofen.
I think it's so funny. Your brother was like, "Oh, why do you need so much ibuprofen?" And it's like, bro, we're almost 30. Like, if you're not taking ibuprofen almost every day, what are you doing?
I give out more than I take, honestly. Like, one of my coworkers that I used to work with, he had a bunch, and at one point I was in pain for probably like a week or so, and he just kept giving me some. I'm like, and I asked him the same thing, "Why do you have so much?" And he went, "Oh, because I give it out to people." I went, "That's a good reason." And then I bought it, and this is my second bottle that I've been going through. And like, you don't go down like very quickly through it, but it's just nice to have when people need it.
I was always the person at work people would ask for ibuprofen or Excedrin because I get migraines so often. I just like always had it on me.
Dude, you are like a little child. This is crazy. Okay, so before we started, she's got this little crisscross chair, right? And she's like trying to sit crisscross, but she's in a skirt, so it's not working. So I just told her to sit normally, and she goes, "I feel like a little child." And now I just see 2 little feet under the desk just going boop, boop, kicking me in the shins. Like,
it's called cricketing. I don't know why I always feel the need to like wiggle and move my feet.
Should I get a staple gun?
No. Or like when I'm watching TV, it's my toes. Like I'll always like scrunch my toes.
I do it with my right foot when I'm laying down on my phone or something. I'll do it then.
Yeah. And you're always like, stop moving. And I'm like, I physically cannot help it.
Yeah, you can.
But I learned about the demon core the other day. I think like something came up on Reddit and I started reading about it. And I was like, bro, how have I never heard about this? So, World War II, our country dropped bombs on Japan. And I guess they had another bomb ready that they ended up not using.
Yeah, we had 3.
Yeah, so it was like the heart of the third atom bomb. And they're like, we don't know what to do with it. So they started doing tests on this leftover nuke. And it said it was less than a week after Japan originally surrendered. They were conducting these experiments, and their whole thing was finding out just how far you could go before a dangerous reaction was triggered. They even had a nickname for it, calling it tickling the dragon's tail, because they knew if something went wrong, they would be like burned.
Yeah.
So on August 21st, 1945, the Los Alamos physicist Harry Daghlian, he was going back alone with no other scientists, just a security guard, to do experiments, which you should never conduct scientific experiments alone. It's a bad idea. Even if they're like calm, like usually, there's safety protocols. But he's surrounded, so it's a plutonium sphere. And I don't know if you know anything about, like if you remember about half-lives. So a half-life is the time it's required for a substance to undergo a process, usually like decay for radioactive items, or like just basically it's like if it how long it takes to die.
It's close, but okay.
So the plutonium half-life, I looked it up, the one that's used in nuclear weapons has a half-life of 24,100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just crazy. We have way too much power.
Honestly, the half-life of plutonium is relatively short considering the half-life of most radioactive elements. Like, look up the half-life of uranium, because most of the time it's in like the millions of years.
Really?
Yeah, for half of an isotope to decay. How long is uranium's half-life?
Uranium-238 has a half-life of 4.47 billion years.
Yeah.
It says similar to the age of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What just happened?
I was picking at my knee, apparently. Guys, I'm a mess today. I need a, like.
All right. Well, we'll break there and come back.
I just don't.
You should go.
I'm sorry. I don't know how I did this.
You're a child. That's how.
Okay. So, wow. I wasn't expecting billion.
What about 235? Uranium-235?
700 to 704 million years. That was the one that was used in Chernobyl.
Yeah, that's what I know from.
Billions is
That's why when you
crazy.
said like 24,000 for plutonium, I was like, that's not that long. It's not that long for an element to decay, honestly.
Yeah, but he breached safety protocols. He surrounded the sphere with these bricks made of tungsten carbide, which are supposed to help shield. Mm-hmm. But he went to move one of the bricks away after he finished whatever he was working on, and he dropped it onto the top of the sphere, which it said generated a glow of blue light and a wave of heat. He reached out to remove the brick and then immediately noticed a tingling sensation. And just in that split second, he received a lethal dose of radiation.
Yep.
He died within 25 days. Mm-hmm. The security guard on duty received a non-lethal dose of radiation, but nobody did anything. They were just like, okay, that guy died. They kept doing experiments.
Keep doing experiments, keep with safety protocols. That guy, not being punished, no, the radiation poisoning is his punishment. Like, you remember from the Chernobyl series, it's one of the worst ways to die.
Yeah.
So the fact that you disregarded safety while handling nuclear materials and then got punished for it, that's on you. That sucks for you.
I remember the scenes in the show where they talked about how the nurses had to go and throw all these clothes and everything in a locked room, and then they literally never went in there again. It's still radioactive to this day.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. But in 1946, one of the guy's colleagues, Louis Slotin, was doing a similar experiment, lowered a beryllium dome over the core. The dome reflected neutrons back at the core, which like upped they call it criticality. So while this guy was careful to ensure the dome was never completely covering the core, he was using a screwdriver to maintain a little gap between the core and this like dome thing, which was great until the screwdriver slipped and the dome dropped. Which there was like, I think, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scientists in the room this time. It says another scientist described it as feeling heat and seeing a blue flash as the demon core went supercritical for the second time in the space of a year. He said it was clearly visible through the room, illuminated through the windows and the overhead lights. It was a few tenths of a second, but the damage was already done. There was a photographer and another security guard in the room. They were all exposed to lethal bursts of radiation. Oh, no, it says, sorry, I misread that. They were all exposed to a burst of radiation, but Slotin was the only one to receive a lethal dose and a greater one that was inflicted on Daglian. So at first he seemed to recover, but within days he started experiencing all the things, like your skin sloughing off and all the horrible stuff that happens to your DNA. And a press release at the time said it was a 3-dimensional sunburn. Essentially. 9 days after that screwdriver slipped, he died.
Crazy.
So these two incidents finally like led them to, like do safe things and stop messing with people's lives.
People are always surprised by that. Like they're surprised that people die and then we look at safety. That is all of human history.
I think the issue with this one is they already had the safety measures. Like they knew all of this.
They already have safety measures for everything. Right? They have protocols in place of like, oh, handle it safely, handle this. But there was no written rule that says do not use screwdriver to prop this dome open.
Yeah.
Right? And then the screwdriver fell, and now they probably have a rule that says you won't use anything but approved screwdriver, mechanic, whatever, right? But it's people always dying first.
Yeah.
Every time with whatever it is.
Originally, they were calling the core Rufus, and then after these deaths, it was called the Demon Core. And then they were going to be using it in like more demonstrations post-war, but because of these deaths, they actually just melted it down and reintegrated it into the U.S. nuclear stockpile.
Crazy.
But it's just, to me, it's just wild that like as a scientist, that this will kill you and you keep going. But I guess that's a lot of science.
I would say
Marie
that's
Curie
most
did the same
science,
thing.
though. Yeah. It's not like they're walking in there going, today's the day I'm going to kill myself. Like they're trying to further understanding of whatever it is that they're researching. And they themselves, as a scientist, have accepted or should have accepted the risk that they could die from these experiments.
Yeah. I think I just don't understand how you love something so much, like you're willing to just die for it. Like obviously with people, like you love someone so much you're willing to die for them. But being willing to die for science, I think is really cool. Like,
these people have a dedication to further human knowledge and understanding, or they have autism, one of the two, and they need to get this knowledge in front of them, right? And if you don't do it now, specifically in this case, if they didn't go and experiment on this core, when in your lifetime would you get to do it again?
That's true.
Never. You would they're never gonna be like, let's make another bomb and then take it back apart and then give it to some scientists and say, hey, go nuts, we need some information.
Yeah.
Because they're doing that right now. They're gonna get the information, then melt it down and be like, now we have this information, we're gonna use it towards different bomb. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I truly hope that atomic bombs are never used again. Like you see like the pictures and videos from Japan.
Probably not ever.
Yeah.
Nuclear weapons, probably.
What's the difference?
Atomic bombs were built on the principle of splitting atoms, but now we have what's like nuclear fission bombs, which is throwing atoms together.
So like implosion, not explosion?
Right. So it's, well, not necessarily. So
I'm not a huge science person.
We're not splitting atoms apart to blow them up. We're basically slamming atoms against each other and them hitting each other. It's what blows up.
So like do the atoms blow up or the people blow up?
No, it's the atoms that blow up. but they're also less radioactive than the ones that we used in Japan.
Good.
They're less radioactive, but they're bigger. So they blow up more stuff, and there's a little less radiation.
Yeah. I have friends who will, like, come to me, like, my friend Caro, she's like, I'm worried about war. Like, what if we get killed? And I'm like, then we'll be dead. And she's like freaking out. I'm like, listen, this is something I talked about in therapy a lot because I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I have OCD. And one of those things I would worry about all the time was death. Like, I would spiral and research and obsess. And eventually my therapist got me to the place where it's like, okay, so you die. What happens next? Either there's an afterlife or there's not. Either way, it won't be my problem. Like, you know, like radical acceptance of things has helped me a lot. But they'll come to me and be like, what does your husband know? Like, what does politics know? Like, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, you watch the same news we do.
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Like, we're not experts on everything, you know?
Mm-mm.
But I think I'm just too idealistic. I'm like, why can't the world just get along? Like, we're all born on the same planet, you know?
Yep. That was the end of the... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was all.
We all happen to be here, so we should all be happy to be here. Oh, okay.
I will say, the Demon Core was the main thing. I thought something else was related to it, but no, the only other thing I wanted to talk about was Pokemon.
Death was related to it.
It's very different.
Man, speaking of little demons, I went to get a haircut the other day.
Oh, yeah?
And I made an appointment because I like to. There's not a ton of places where I would, but this place is nice enough. I was like, all right, I'll make an appointment.
It's so funny because you'll be like, why isn't my girl working today? And I'm
like, she's not.
I don't know.
The barber's not working. Can't go. Go another day. But I booked an appointment. I think 5:30 was the appointment. I get there at probably like 5:20 just to see if I can get in early, but I'm not expecting to, you know. And there's somebody in her chair. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go sit down. So it's 4 people working, right? Mm-hmm. All 4 of them are cutting somebody's hair. I'm sitting down in the lobby. Already sitting in the lobby is a woman who has 2 children. And it's a little boy and a little girl. And they only drink sugar. So the little boy is like practicing, I guess, trying to lift up the chairs. They're like metal folding chairs. Mm-hmm. So he's like practicing lifting one up and like trying to move it inch by inch, right?
Like, how old do you estimate these kids were?
I don't know. I'm so bad at
how small
estimating
were they?
Kid things. Like, they were like this.
Okay, so probably like 4 or 5.
I don't know. I'm not good with.
If they're at that height, they're probably about 4 or 5.
There was like one here and one like this. Like they were like this.
Yeah, so they probably like a 4 to 6 year old group.
I don't know. They were small.
Okay.
Anyway, the daughter they have one of those like sideways mini fridge like drink machines or like coolers, you know, so you can open like 3 different sliding doors to get the 3 sections. Mm-hmm. Well, the far right side is beer, the middle is water and I think some soda, and then the left is Capri Suns and some other soda. Well, the daughter is over there like opening the doors and just rearranging all the cans, right? And she starts in the middle and rearranging cans and grabs a bunch of water and grabs the water bottles, and they're the mini water bottles, and throws like 3 on the ground. So the mom's like, ugh, and picks them back up and puts them back in there.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Then sits back down and goes back on her phone. And the daughter goes to the left side. Well, she opened the right side, but the right side was in front of mom, and she was looking at the beer, and mom's like, no. So she closed that one. And I was like, okay, yeah, like parent. It's crazy. I'm like, the boy, I'm like, yeah, he's moving a chair around, but it's a chair. You just move it back. The girl, then she goes to the other side, and she starts taking out Capri Suns and just trying to squeeze them as hard as she can, I guess to get them to open. I don't know. So the mom goes, no, you can have one. So she puts back like 3 that she couldn't like death grip open, is holding one and still trying to squeeze it. And her mom's like, no, you know how to open it. And I'm like, she's about to show you that you know how to use a mop. That's what she's about to show you. So she basically just leaves the Capri Sun. I'm trying to like just be distracted on my phone for a bit. Same as the mom, apparently.
People wonder why their kids are obsessed with technology when they can't drop their phone long enough to pay attention to their own kids.
Dude, so the boy, he kind of calms down. I didn't really have any issues with him.
Yeah,
he was there to get his haircut. Well, and then I look up, and the smaller of the parasites, she's standing next to me, and she's got a pair of sunglasses, and she's pointing them towards me. And I was like, no, I'm okay. You go take them back to your mom, thinking they're her mom's. So she walks back around all these chairs. Mind you, I'm like 3 rows of chairs back. She walks back around all these chairs. Mom's still on her phone, hands her mom the sunglasses. Her mom goes, where'd you get these from? Who are these? She stands up. She goes, are these your sunglasses? She took them. I don't know where she got them from. And I was like, no, she got them from the lost and found over there. I saw her do it. I'm like, that's...
Why am I paying more attention to your kid than you are?
She's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yeah, she's playing in the cabinet over here. Like, literally got inside of a cabinet. She's like, oh, okay. Haha. You know, it's the more you tell them no, the more they do bad things. And I was like, okay.
I've never had that issue.
And then she went back to her phone, and I was like, are you trying to justify your parenting philosophy to me? Because right now it's evidence that it's not working, right? Clearly, it's not working.
Like, I understand not judging parents because, like, kids are kids and they'll do shit. But, like, you have to at least make an attempt to teach them.
Yeah, no, it got worse from there because then she's like, okay, let me talk to the son. So she tells the son that he needs to sit down because then the daughter will sit down because he's sitting down. And I'm like, that's not how that works.
That's terrible logic.
That was evident, right, in this next portion of the story where he goes to get his haircut. He's sitting there. He can't sit still. I don't know if he wasn't all there. I don't know. But he was on his phone and was just moving around, didn't want to sit still for the lady.
Stimming.
She was doing all right though. She was still cutting his hair. And I was like, oh good, he's sitting down, she'll sit down. That's what you told me, right? No. This mother was standing there talking with the hairstylist about the son, not paying attention to where the daughter was at all. But now they're on the other side of these chairs and everything. The daughter is literally running around just grabbing stuff off of like the hairstylist workstations. At one point, she threw like 4 containers of like hair gel on the ground. She dragged a chair over, or like a little like stool. She grabbed it, dragged it all the way in the back. It was a footstool for people getting their hair washed. Dragged it all the way to the front, put it on next to the front door, and was trying to open the front door of the place to leave. The mom finally saw her, was like, oh, come here, you. Like, went and grabbed her. She immediately started screaming, so the mom put her down again. She started wandering off. She's like, she put her in a chair, in one of the other stylist chairs, the empty one that wasn't working. She got up again, I immediately started freaking out, started walking around screaming. And then the mom said something to the hairstylist about, oh, can I borrow a spray bottle? And I was like, are you about to spray your kid? Because that'd be funny as fuck. But also, what?
Like a cat.
Yeah. And so I was kind of on my phone for a bit, just like trying to drown it out. Because like everybody in the store was like, I'm trying not to do this. Like she threw a hair, like the little like hockey puck shape of a hair gel, She put one like right behind the barber that I was waiting for. And she almost stepped on it. And the mom was like, oh, my goodness, I'm so sorry. You almost slipped. And, like, grabbed it from her. And I was like, dude, your kid's about to be a liability. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And my favorite, like, the culmination of all this is the kid finally, I guess, got a hold of some, like, scissors and was, like, trying to pull them off of one of the workstations. And the mom instinctively, she grabbed the nearest bottle and just went psh, 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 and, like, sprayed her kid. And the kid dropped it and started crying and put it down. And she picked her kid up and put her in the chair and told her to sit still. And then she turned to the hairstylist. She goes, was that water in there? Because they have bottles of water and alcohol at the barber. She's like, well, what'd you spray her with? And she's like, well, I grabbed the spray bottle and sprayed her. And the hairstylist's like, yeah, but which one did you grab? Because there's alcohol and water. And she goes, so she's like picking up her kid, trying to like smell. She's like, okay, I think it was water. And I was like, yeah, your kid would be screaming a lot louder if you sprayed her with alcohol in the face.
Oh my God.
And then she picked her up to leave. She's going over to pay. She picks her kid up, the daughter, and the daughter's just screeching like she's trying to practice how to break glass. And so the mom finally puts her down, and I was like, oh, okay, good. The screeching will stop. No, the screeching stopped because the mom was like holding her head and not letting her move because she was like fidgeting but couldn't really figure it out that there was someone holding her head.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, parent better. What the fuck? Like, this whole experience was like, I don't know what you're doing, but this whole, oh, the more you tell them no, the more they want to do it thing. What?
You gotta meet kids on their
That's
level.
crazy.
Like, people be like, why do your nieces and nephews listen to you? And I'm like, because, like, if they had thrown shit on the floor like that and I would not have picked it up, I would be like, grab it and pick it up. You know, like, I'm not going to fix your problem. You're the one who threw it on the ground. You're the one who's going to pick it up.
Man, I was so contemplating just being like, I could get a shot of whiskey right now.
You should have.
Yeah. You should go with next time, though. They had some vodka that looked pretty good. They got tequila, whiskey. It's pretty nice.
Well,
and
that's
then I
enough
got my
tales
haircut.
of the demons.
But I was definitely sitting there for. Well, my stylist, she was late. She was behind on appointments because of a different thing throughout the day, I guess.
Yeah, she must be really.
So
popular.
I had a full seat to this entire experience because she was late. So my appointment at 5:30 didn't start until like 5:45ish.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think I'm a little bit glad for, because if I had to get my haircut while my stylist was also trying to like dodge and weave a kid and like stylist and like tools and shit on the ground, I'd be much more nervous.
I'm honestly surprised the stylist didn't say anything, because when I used to manage a store, like there would be kids who'd do shit like that, and I'd go to their parents and I'd be like, "Oh, I know you would never let your children run around like this, so I wanted to let you know what they were doing." Like,
no, it's in full view. Like,
yeah, no, they definitely
was
like
there.
know better, but like I just to make the parents feel bad, I'd be like, wow, you must not have known they were doing this.
no, if I was working there, I'd be like, ma'am, control your child, or I'm going to stop cutting your son's hair and you can all three leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, because you're presenting a safety risk to the other stylist at this
seriously,
point.
scissors. Like,
not even that, just throwing products on the ground. I'd have charged her and been like, oh, yeah, you cracked 2 of these. You need to buy them now. Like, oh, yeah, you're not watching your kid. Like, she broke a water bottle, free water, sure. But then she starts throwing hair care products around. She starts grabbing scissors that you now have to disinfect again before you can use them. Like,
yeah, it presents a
you're
whole
wasting
like
time and
cascade of
effort.
issues.
And
clearly it's like a family issues, because like, but I think that's all the time for demons we got today. I hope you guys liked what you heard. That thing over there is Jordan. This thing over here is Ripley. You can see our videos every Tuesday and listen to new episodes every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.